This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Well, I guess yesterday we found out that not only is it Donald Trump who has committed obstruction of justice, but also Bill Barr. Maybe not in the legal sense because he's covered by a cadre of scandalous lawyers working at the Department of Justice who wrote a memo, this 9-pager, that let Donald Trump off the hook for multiple counts of obstruction of justice that were outlined in the Mueller report. Now we're learning why exactly Donald Trump wasn't sought for prosecution for those crimes. They list a bevy of legal nonsense justifications for why Donald Trump should not be prosecuted for his crimes. I'm going to play a clip from Andrew Weissman, who actually was on the Mueller special prosecutor team. Before I do, I want to talk about the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, CREW, a great organization. I've done several stories over the course of the Trump era that come straight from them. And this is another one that we all owe a tip of our cap, if you will, to the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, CREW. This is from their website. They are the ones who brought the legal case against the Department of Justice to release this memo, and they are the ones who ultimately are responsible for its release. They say this: following a victory in appeals court, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington obtained the secret Department of Justice memo then Attorney General Bill Barr pointed to in order to undermine the Mueller report and justify not charging then President Donald Trump with obstruction. The memo presents a breathtakingly generous view of the law and facts for Donald Trump. It significantly twists the facts and the law to benefit Donald Trump and does not comport with a serious reading of the law of obstruction of justice or the facts as found by Special Counsel Mueller. Among many other problems, it is premised on the fact that there was no underlying criminal conduct, which is not what Mueller found, and waves its hand at there being no exact precedent to compare it to. The memo supports the chilling conclusion that any president can interfere with any investigation if they believe it could damage them politically. It is clear why Bill Barr did not want the public to see it. And that is exactly what the memo does. The memo lets Donald Trump off. Listen, let's talk about this. If you wonder why Donald Trump acts with impunity, if you wonder why Donald Trump continues to act criminally, covering up his crimes, possibly violating the Espionage Act, hoarding illegally top secret special access documents in his home, if you wonder, it's because of crap like this. It is because he's been given a pass from the very beginning, not only of his life, certainly, but as President of the United States. Let off the hook. You can do whatever you want, sir. Sir, you're the President of the United States. We're the Justice Department, and we're going to work as your personal law firm covering for your crimes. Obstructing justice. When you incorrectly, knowingly, incorrectly make a judgment that Donald Trump can't be prosecuted, because even if the obstruction was real, the underlying crime that they're trying to obstruct had to have been a crime. It's nonsense. How many people do you know of, probably you don't know them personally, but who were prosecuted for lying to the FBI? No matter what the crime that was being investigated or the matter that was being investigated, whether or not it was an actual crime that ended up getting prosecuted, if you lie to the authorities, if you act in an obstructive manner, your intent is there. It is, listen, Donald Trump is running scared right now because of this. This is just minutes, a couple hours ago. 8:50 Eastern Time. Donald Trump on the good old Truth Social, panicking as he wakes up over his first milkshake of the day. Donald J. Trump says this: even though I am as innocent as a person can be, you know it's going to be a doozy when a sentence is started like that. Even though I'm the most innocent person ever. And despite my campaign being spied on by the radical left and the FISA court being lied to and defrauded, all of the many hoaxes and scams that were illegally placed on me by very sick and demented people, and without even mentioning the many crimes of Joe and Hunter Biden, because they have anything to do with this, all revealed in great detail in the laptop from hell, it looks more and more like the fake news media is pushing hard for the sleaze to do something that should not be done. Who do you think the sleaze is to which Donald Trump refers? Law enforcement? The judiciary? Who is the sleaze, capital S, sleaze? This law and order president sure doesn't like law and order when it's directed his way. No? Bill Barr, again, not something they can prosecute him for because he has the cover of the entirety of the Department of Justice, used lawyers under his employ, under our employ, to cover for Donald Trump's crimes, to give him a get out of jail free card, literally, in the pages of this memo. I'm going to play a brief clip here from Andrew Weissman, who again was on the special counsel's team. And here are his personal, professional opinions concerning the contents of this memo.
Just to set the stage, remember that we gave the report to Bill Barr and his senior staff at the end of March of 2019. And then in 2 days, Bill Barr issued his alleged summary where he concluded that that we had decided not to make a recommendation with respect to whether the president had committed obstruction, and thus left it to Bill Barr to make that conclusion. And his letter said that we hadn't found any crimes and that he, the Attorney General, concluded that there was no obstruction. This memo, as you said, is a doozy because it has been kept under wraps, and the Department of Justice fought even giving it to the district court for her to read. There is a reason when she read it that her decision was that this needs to be made public. The Court of Appeals agreed with her. Now to the substance. Why did they try and keep this under wraps? There is a sentence in here that is astounding to me. The two senior staff say to Bill Barr that the reason he should make the decision is because if the memo comes out, it might be read to imply that the president committed obstruction. Let me just repeat that the reason Bill Barr needs to say something is because if the report comes out, it could be read to say that the president committed obstruction. So what is really noticeable is there is no discussion in this memorandum about Bill Barr simply telling the special counsel, you know what, I want you to conclude whether he committed obstruction or not. And the reason that Bill Barr, we now know clearly from this memo, did not send it back to Mueller, who reported to him, was because he knew exactly what the answer would be, because it says in black and white that this memo could be read to conclude that the president committed obstruction. And then there's a legal point that's just also dead wrong. They say that the president essentially didn't commit obstruction because there's no precedent for finding that somebody commits obstruction unless they're also guilty of the underlying crime for which they obstructed. That is legally wrong.
That is a man with knowledge of what took place. That is a man with legal acumen and understanding. That is a man with an impeccable public service career. And again, I'm going to end it with this. All of this could have been stopped. all of the subsequent crimes from Donald Trump could have been avoided if this had been handled professionally from the very beginning. If not for Bill Barr's obstruction of justice. Criminality run amok with these people. They claim to support and love law enforcement, yet they're calling them sleaze on Truth Social. They raise their right hand to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to faithfully execute their offices. And then they do this in obvious protection of one single derelict, Donald Trump. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can absolutely email me daily at dollemore.com. I would love to know what your feelings are about this. And if my work is important to you, if I bring you value on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, please consider supporting my work. You can click the join button below this video, become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month. Pennies a day. You can help support what I do here, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on social media. I'm everywhere, at Dollemore on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.